Today, we're diving into the darkest corners of the world, where they once called it paradise. But beware, for what lies beneath the surface is far from heavenly. It's a devil's playground. This is Unsolved Mysteries of the Deadliest Places. Number 1. Death Road. There's a dangerous road in Bolivia called Death Road. It's a scary place where you should never go for a road trip. The road goes really high, about 15,500 feet above the sea. It's narrow, only 10 feet wide in some places, and there are no guardrails to keep you safe. The road is right next to a steep rock wall. The weather there is tricky too. Because of the nearby rainforest, there are strong and humid winds that bring rain and mudslides. The road is not well maintained, and dust makes it hard to see. That's why people call it Death Road. Even though it's known for being dangerous, some brave people still use it. In the early 1990s, around 300 to 400 people died every year because they lost control of their cars and fell off the road. Luckily, in 2005, the Bolivian government built a safer road, so most cars use that one now. Number 2. Snake Island. To get to this island off the coast of Brazil, you need to be very careful. Even though it's officially called Ilha do Grande, people often call it Snake Island. It's a bit scary because there are around 4,200 venomous snakes slithering under the trees, waiting to bite tourists with their sharp fangs. These snakes are called golden lanceheads, a rare type of pit viper known as one of the deadliest in Latin America. Their venom can melt flesh, destroy red blood cells, and cause death in less than an hour. You might wonder how these snakes ended up on the island. Before the sea levels rose and separated Snake Island from the mainland, it was part of the Brazilian coast. With lots of seabirds to eat and no predators around, the snakes on the island multiplied rapidly. Now, visitors are always close to these slithering creatures, with an estimated 1 to 6 golden lanceheads per square meter. For safety reasons, the Brazilian Navy wisely prohibits people from visiting Snake Island, except for experts doing important research. Number 3. Skeleton Coast. It's a famous and kind of scary stretch of beach along the Atlantic Ocean in the northern part of Namibia. A long time ago, Portuguese sailors called it the Gates of Hell, and the local bushmen called it the land God created in anguish. But most people know it as the Skeleton Coast because there are a lot of animal bones scattered around the sand. The Namib Desert is a big and harsh place where it's really hard to find water to drink. So, if you end up there, you might have to choose between drinking salty ocean water or dying of thirst. And to make things worse, there are dangerous animals like cheetahs, jackals, hyenas, and desert lions waiting to eat anything that comes their way. The name Skeleton Coast comes from the bones of animals that predators have eaten, scattered all over the sand. But that's not the only danger. If you keep going, you'll find the rusty remains of about 1,000 shipwrecks. The waters around this area are known for being really dangerous because of strong currents, hidden rocks, thick fog, and strong winds. Ships have been crashing there for hundreds of years, and the number of wrecks keeps growing. So, to sum it up, the Skeleton Coast doesn't sound like the best place for a vacation. There's no drinking water, dangerous animals, and violent waves. Let's leave this dry desert and find somewhere safer. Number 4. Lake Karachay. Lake Karachay in Russia is a very dangerous place. It was used by the Soviet Union to dump radioactive waste between 1952 and 1954. The pollution in the lake is so bad that just being near it for a few hours can make you sick and even cause death. Scientists say it's the most contaminated place on Earth. The lake releases a harmful measure called sieverts, which shows how bad radiation is for your health. Being exposed to just one sievert can lead to serious illness. Lake Karachay released 5.6 lethal sieverts per hour during testing in 1992, which means it could kill someone in about 45 minutes. Even though people have tried to reduce the radiation by adding concrete to the lake, it's still a big problem. Since the Soviet Union dumped radioactive waste into Lake Karachay, about 1 billion gallons of groundwater has been contaminated. This has caused a lot of health problems for the people living nearby. In a nearby region called Chelyabinsk, there has been an increase in various cancers, and leukemia has gone up by 41%. Number 5. Danakil Depression. Let's go to the Danakil Depression in Ethiopia. It's a strange and unique place on Earth. In northwest Ethiopia, there are bright yellow craters and deep green channels that look like a weird and otherworldly wasteland. But don't be fooled by its beauty. This volcanic area can be dangerous. The Danakil Depression is where 3 big plates in the Earth's crust meet. Because of their movements, there are often strong earthquakes. The ground can crack open, posing a risk to people who visit. The air there smells like rotten eggs because of gases like sulfur and chlorine coming out of the cracks. There are also hot springs with very hot water caused by the movement of the Earth's plates. The minerals in the water create beautiful crystal formations and colorful salt shells. These pools can get as hot as 230 degrees Fahrenheit. In addition to all of that, there are 2 active volcanoes in the Danakil Depression. One of them has a lava lake that sometimes overflows and destroys anything in its path. So, even though it looks beautiful, the Danakil Depression is a part of nature that can be very dangerous. Number 6. Rumit Island. Imagine a beautiful and quiet island. There's sunlight, sandy beaches, and palm trees. But there's also something unique on this island. A huge concrete vault filled with pieces of radioactive material. This special place is called Rumit Island, and it's in the Pacific Ocean between Hawaii and the Philippines. From 1947 to 1959, the US military used the Marshall Islands, where Rumit Island is, to test 68 nuclear bombs. This caused a lot of damage to the environment, and even now, more than 60 years later, some parts of the area are still in bad shape. A study in 2019 by researchers from Columbia University found that the coral reef called Bikini Atoll on Rumit Island is about 9 times more radioactive than Chernobyl. In the late 1970s, the US military tried to clean up Rumit Island by burying radioactive waste inside a big concrete dome that is 360 feet tall. Sadly, they didn't think about how long the dome would last, and now it's starting to fall apart. This is a problem because it puts the nearby ecosystem in danger. Number 7. Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle is a place in the world that many people know about because strange and dangerous things happen there. It's between Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. People, ships, and airplanes seem to disappear there without anyone knowing why. Big boats and planes have gone missing, and nobody can find any clues about what happened to them. Some people think it's because of huge waves that can destroy ships and planes, but nobody knows for sure. The Bermuda Triangle is a mysterious and strange place, and there isn't much information available about it. Number 8. Nikas Mountains Cave. Nikas Mountains Cave is a mysterious and unexplored place. National Geographic made a long video about it. The cave is in the Chihuahua Desert in Mexico. 3 scientists went there, and it was a big deal. The cave has really big and pretty crystals. Going to this cave can be exciting and maybe change your life, but it's also risky. Under the cave, there is super hot magma. The air inside is very humid and hot. The researchers had to wear special suits to protect themselves from the heat and lack of air. One scientist said that even with the suit, you can feel your body losing water as soon as you go inside. It makes you dizzy and lightheaded as you walk through the crystal-filled cave. It's both amazing and scary to see. Number 9. Lake Nyos. Lake Nyos is a dangerous place in Africa. It seemed peaceful, with villages around it, but it turned out to be deadly. In 1985, something bad happened. Water shot up from the lake, creating a tall fountain. This fountain released a cloud of gas that spread over the villages. People started feeling sick and passed out. The gas was carbon dioxide, which can be harmful in high amounts. That day, over 1,800 villagers died. Carbon dioxide is usually stored under lakes and rocks. When a volcano erupts, it releases a lot of carbon dioxide. This gas can go through rocks and slowly mix with the water. If this happens near a lake, the water can become deadly. Normally, the gas rises to the surface and goes into the air. But in Lake Nyos, the poison gas stayed trapped until something made it come out, causing a lot of people to die tragically. Number 10. Mount Washington. Our final stop is Mount Washington in the United States. While Mount Everest is the tallest mountain globally, Mount Washington in New Hampshire is called the world's most dangerous small mountain. It's tough to hike, even though it's not as big as Mount Everest. The main danger comes from the strong winds, not the height. In April 1933, Mount Washington had the fastest wind speed ever recorded at 230 miles per hour. Hiking is difficult even with winds as slow as 60 miles per hour. The fierce winds and freezing temperatures increase the risk of hypothermia. Mount Washington is very risky due to high snowfall and temperatures as low as -42 degrees Fahrenheit. Hikers need to do careful research before attempting to climb it. Over 160 deaths have been reported since 1850, so it's crucial to be well prepared and organized for the journey. That's the last of the dangerous locations we're discussing today. These stunning yet deadly places show the incredible beauty and power of Mother Nature. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more. Check out the videos on your screen now. See you in the next one.